Hey guys, so today I'll be going over a method that you can use to level up your databank level faster. But before I get to that, I've realized that in some of my videos I'm not being beginner friendly and I don't go into detail about what it is that I'm talking about. I guess I've just been assuming that everyone who watches my videos knows what I'm talking about, and I use that as a baseline to go from there and talk about what it is that I want to talk about. So, for those of you who don't know much about the game, don't know anything about the game, that's totally fair. This game has an ecosystem, which, by the way, I highly recommend you watch my ecosystem explanation video if you haven't already. Disclaimer though, there is some information on there that is maybe not as specific as you might want it to be, or maybe even outdated information, because it was all the gray areas were mostly speculation of various online sources. Obviously, at the time of uploading that video, the game hadn't officially released yet. But now we have all the details regarding those gray areas, and even though I won't go into as much detail about the ecosystem in this video, I'll at least give you the basis to understand what's going on and what it is that I'm going to be talking about. Echoes are artifacts. They're artifacts, relics, whatever it is you want to call them. You get 5 slots on each character, and they all belong to different sets. Depending on which ones you have on your character, you can have a 2-piece set effect on your character, and it could go up to a 5-piece set effect. There's different sets for the ecosystem that I'll display on screen depending on what you need for your character. If it's a DPS, then go with the elementals, depending on what element your character is, or if you want the flat attack, you could go with the flat attack. If it's a support, you could go with Moonlit Clouds. If it's a healer, you can go with the rejuvenation set. So that is one layer for this ecosystem. Now we're gonna start piling up layers to give you a better idea of how this monstrosity of a system works. There are monsters in the game, and each monster, after being defeated, you're gonna have a set percentage based chance of getting them to drop their echoes. And this is true for every single monster in the game, yes, including bosses, including elite enemies, common enemies, anything in the game that's considered a monster is going to have a chance to drop echoes. Now, there are human enemies in the game, they do not drop echoes, so unless there's a chest or some sort of mechanism that is gonna be unlocked after defeating like a bunch of human enemies, don't bother with them. So moving on to the rarities of echoes, they range from rarity 2, which is highlighted by the color green, to rarity 5, which is the best type of echo that you can find in the game, and they are highlighted by the color yellow. They go 2 green, 3 blue, 4 purple, 5 yellow. Obviously, the higher rarity they are, the higher the level they can reach. And here's a table of how exactly that would work. The rarity does not only affect how high of a level they can achieve, but also the amount of substats that they can get. And obviously, the higher the rarity, the more substats you can get on the specific echo. But wait, there's more. There are echo level up materials in the game. And that is different from tuning materials, which are used to tune echoes. By tuning, this just means you unlock a substat. So if you use a tuning material on an echo, you're going to unlock a random substat for that echo. Here are the 4 different types of echoes, which is different from rarities that are the colors. Types of echoes, there's only 4 of them. There's common, elite, and then overlord and calamity level echo types. And each type has its cost. The commons cost 1, elites cost 3, and then overlord and calamity types cost 4. And before I get into the cost aspect of the ecosystem, I just wanted to say that the main stats that you can get for these different types of echoes are different. So the common type of echo is going to have its own possible main stats. The elite echo type is going to have its own, and then I believe that the calamity and overlord types share the same possibilities for main stats. So this doesn't exactly mean that the Calamity and Overlord type echoes are the best, it just depends on what you need for what character. You might think, well, why don't I just run 5 Calamity class echoes or 5 Overlord echoes? Well, again, first of all, because they are the highest costing ones doesn't mean they are the best. And second, you can't do that. So let's get into why that is. When you start the game, you are going to have a maximum cost of 10. That means that between the 5 echoes that you are going to equip on your character, the total cost of them cannot exceed 10. So 10 is the absolute maximum. So if you want to run 2 Calamity or Overlord class echoes, that's already a cost of 8, which means you only have room for 2 common class echoes, which have a cost of 1, totaling 10. But who in the world would want to run 4 echoes instead of 5, right? So you see how things are starting to come together. As you level up your databank level, you're going to unlock the ability to have a total maximum cost of 12 instead of 10. So this is going to give you a little more freedom into choosing which class echoes you can run on any given character. And so once you reach that databank level where you're able to increase your maximum echo cost from 10 to 12, the ideal setup that you should be running, at least on your main DPSs, should be a 4 costing echo, 2 3 costing echoes, and 2 1 costing echoes. That is to say, 1 Overlord or Calamity class echo, 2 Elite echoes, and 2 commons. That should give you a total of 12. Also, the first echo you equip on your character is going to have an activatable effect during battle, so make sure you put a good one for your first slot. The order of the other 4 doesn't really matter. Going back to the echo sets, if you equip the same exact echo belonging to the same set, it is not going to count for your 2-piece or 5-piece set effect. So let's just say you have the Bellborn Giechelon Echo. If you have 2 of these, which I would not recommend because again, each one of these types of echoes has a cost of 4, and that's way too much to have 2 of, but in a hypothetical scenario, if you did have 2 of these equipped on the same character, and they belong to the same set, you are not going to get the 2-piece set effect. The game is only going to count 1 of them. Now, I am unsure if whether the 2 echoes belong to different rarities, if this would work or not. Ideally in the endgame, you're going to want full rarity 5 echoes, that is to say 5 echoes of the yellow rarity. So it wouldn't really matter in the endgame. But anyways, on to the second section of this video. So now I'm going to talk about the data merge feature, which is where you can merge 5 echoes of your choosing, merge them into one, and a set percentage-based chance of getting an additional one. So sometimes you'll get 1 out of this, sometimes you'll get 2. The rarity is going to depend on what data dock level you are. So this trick is mainly used to level up your data dock level as fast as possible. It involves farming lower level echoes. So if you're still in the first phase level for your world, and you're getting green echoes from enemies, then you will definitely want to farm enemies. It doesn't matter which enemies you farm as long as they're easy and fast to take down. The idea is to get as many low-level echoes as you can. Obviously, if you are a higher world level and don't maybe have access to green echoes, it's not really that big of a deal. You have the option of lowering your overall world level and going back to like the beginner stages and just farming out a bunch of green echoes, but that is not really necessary. Point is, you want a lot of fodder echoes, and you'll want to put them into this merger system so that you can get new echoes. And these new echoes, they may or may not be quote unquote new discoveries for your data doc, but chances are if you're still missing more than half of the echoes on the list, then you're gonna get a couple of good ones that you didn't have before. So on screen, I'm gonna show you footage of me trying this trick out just to make sure that it works. I tried it once off camera and I merged a bunch of stuff, so I didn't unfortunately get footage for that to show you just the extent of how much XP you can gain from this if you like bulk merge a bunch of lower echoes. But I did have some leftover echoes that I ended up merging regardless, and I still got some EXP out of it. And this is just a little taste of how much XP you can get from this. If you have tons and tons, hundreds of lower level echoes, and obviously you can merge any echo. It doesn't have to be lower level, but obviously if you are still not at data doc level 15 and the majority of the echoes you have are purple rarity, you're probably not gonna want to get rid of those because it's like the main thing that you're using right now. If that is what you want to do to get to data doc level 15 faster, then you do have that choice now. You should make note of what I'm about to say. You should lock all of the echoes that you do not want to merge on accident. It has happened, not to me, but I've seen people online go through the same thing. It's unfortunate, so before you do this, if you know you're gonna bulk merge a bunch of stuff that is not necessarily lower tiers, maybe you're bulk merging a bunch of purples, you're gonna want to lock those good purple echoes that you have. I wouldn't recommend this trick if you don't have at least a 50-50 chance to get one or other rarities. So take a look on screen here, for example. I'm data doc level 13. My highest drop rarity is 4, and I have a 75% chance to have a 4-star echo versus a 25% chance to get a 3-star echo. If you don't have at least a 50-50 chance on this, I would not recommend you do this trick, because right now I find myself at a point in the game where I'm only missing maybe like 4 or 5 echoes that I have yet to even discover for the first time. And then most of the things that I'm missing are just purple rarity variants of the echoes that I've already discovered. So in order to increase your chances of getting all of these higher rarity echoes that you maybe don't already have, you're gonna at least want a 50% chance to get the higher counterparts of the echoes. You can do this even if you're still in the early game, but just know that you're gonna have to do it every time you level up a certain amount in the data bank. So let's say you can get up to blue rarity echoes and it's a 50-50 chance between getting a blue one or a green one. You can absolutely do this trick to get most of your echo discoveries, and once you get most of them, you stop. Because it's no longer going to be efficient, you're just going to be merging a bunch of echoes, wasting your echoes on a slim chance of getting the few echoes that you may be missing. As soon as you get most of the echoes that you were looking for in that rarity, I suggest you go out, hunt for them individually, which you can do, by the way. If you go down on the databank menu, you can see all of the echoes that you have, the maximum tier you have them at, and you can track where those monsters are in the map. Just know that when you get to a higher level in the databank and you unlock the ability to get 4-star rarity echoes, you're gonna want to get that 50-50 chance at least, and then start merging lower level echoes again. Just do this until you get to databank level 15, because once you do, you'll be golden. You'll be able to actually start the grind for 5-star rarity echoes and building up your characters for the end game. But anyways, use this trick to your advantage. It's going to help you level up your databank level a lot faster than just hunting individually for echoes when you get to that point in the game. And remember to lock the echoes that you don't want to lose to the merge process. But anyways, that's all I wanted to say about that. See ya.